no need to be alarmed. I'm not going to hurt you. Though I wouldn't doubt it if you had a knife stashed under your pillow. I came in through the window. It was locked, so no need to look so surprised. Someone like me can easily unlock it. I've always thought your room was quite nice, you know? I've been wanting to tell you personally that I admire your taste. It's different, to say the least, but what's special about being ordinary, You're correct. This isn't the first time I've been in here. I choose times when you're not in, and I leave everything in its place. The room relaxes me, somehow. It has your scent all over it. Ever since that night. Well, you wouldn't remember, but I had an encounter that was so profound that I was enthralled by you. And that rarely happens to me. Yes, it was in an alley. Wait, you're not supposed to remember. I made sure of it. Or are you only remembering now having seen me? I've heard that this can occur, though it's never happened to me and I've been living longer than most. So that means you also remember what we shared together? Intriguing. I've personally wanted to research into this but could never find someone who had the whole story. They couldn't explain it well and I'm starting to understand why. Can you remember how you got home that night? So there's a gap in your memory that's now being filled. So I erased it, but I also didn't. I admit that I am at a loss. I had been prepared to erase your memory again after this visit. Now I'm not so sure it'll work. When it comes to my kind, there's an old wives' tale that we each have a set of destined partners that only make their appearance once we have their blood in our system. It's like an activation of some sort. We don't know who they are just by looking at them. Our body tells us once we've fed. And I suppose that explains why I felt so drawn to you after that night. We can feed on whoever we want, it doesn't matter, but vampires can go through life without finding a human who's compatible. It's quite sad, actually. Me? I've lived for almost 400 years and have only now found what I thought was just a legend. Perhaps that's why you're so calm, and why I find solace in this room. In you. You feel it too, don't you? This connection. And here I thought the other vampires were just being melodramatic. I have some apologizing to do. They don't frequent here. This town is mostly my territory. There aren't many of us left because the newer children are too stupid to clean up their mess, and they lead hunters straight to our doorstep. Older vampires like myself get caught in the crossfire. If I recall, it's been over half a century since I found someone from my generation. I lead a solitary life. I've grown used to it. But now, with this conundrum, I'm not quite sure what to do. A part of me wants to kiss you. One wants me to feed on you. And the other is already content in your presence. Whichever I choose to do, will you allow me? Thank you. You're absolutely remarkable. What I mean to say is, now that I'm looking at you properly, I can't understand why I wasn't enamored with you sooner. We have our preferences, of course. That's why I chose you in the first place. If I'd known what you would become to me, I would have introduced myself much sooner. It feels strange to me having this conversation with you. Normally, after I feed and wipe a person's memory, I seldom talk to them again. Some people taste better than others, but life can get repetitive when looking at the same faces over and over. It's good to expand the palate, but the food tends to forget who I am. Ah, forgive me. My name is Xanthus, a 17th century claйborne. My family died out decades ago. I'm the only one left. I can turn humans and make my own, so to speak, but I have yet to. There's no reason for me to do so. I know other vampires who do it for the sake of chaos, but their small brains could never comprehend the ramifications of their actions. And hunters have been growing in number as of late. They hunt things that go bump in the night. Not just vampires. Oh, there's an entirely new world tucked in the shadows. All lore stems from something. It doesn't come out of thin air. A lot of it is embellished or has changed through times. A stake to the heart is nonsense, and so is garlic. No, we can't read minds, but our senses are heightened, so we can guess pretty well. For you, let's see. Your heart rate is elevated, but you're not fearful. On the contrary, your pheromones are telling me you like me being here. You have a unique smell. It's rather appealing. More than others I've encountered. I've lived long enough to rein in my hunger, but I'll happily oblige if you want me to. Relax. Wow. Why does it taste better than usual? At least this time I don't have to hold you up. Dizziness sets in quickly after blood loss. Here, you can lean back and let me take care of you. Now I understand why I had to find you again. Whatever this destined bond is, I don't think I'm that against it anymore. I mean, I've never believed in fate, but I suppose you are worth it. I'd like to think that this goes a particular way, although I haven't thought of that future. I never do. I tend to live each day as it comes. But I will admit that they now seem a lot more colourful, knowing that you will remember me. You won't tell anyone, will you? I can compel you, but I don't want to. It seems that when I do, you forget until you see me again. And I want you to think about me during your waking moments. Well then, if you're happy with keeping this our little secret, I will definitely see you again. In the day, I'm an art collector. I can do things on my own terms, and it's not like I need the money. Living as long as I have, I'd learnt how to adapt and make the right friends. Well, there was a little bit of compulsion here and there, but humans are none the wiser. No one gets hurt, and in the end, I can live as many lives as I want. Watching you is a breath of fresh air. You work hard, and I'm inspired by it. At night, I hunt. It depends where. Sometimes I want an easy meal, like clubs and bars, but other times I like the chase. There's not much that sounds better than blood pumping faster. You want to know the story of what happened when I was turned? I'll leave that for another day. For now, I want to drink a little more. It feels different than before. That night, I only saw you as something to sate my appetite. But now, it feels like we have something more tangible. Would you allow me to kiss you? Why, thank you. Don't worry. You'll get used to the taste of blood soon enough. Mine. It tastes much different, believe me. I've fed on a few vampires before, and they have a distinct flavor, but humans are much sweeter in my opinion. But you won't know what my blood tastes like. It's not good to have it in your system. Because it's not, and that's all you'll need to know for now. You must be overwhelmed knowing that vampires and other creatures exist. Movies and television shows fetishize it, but in reality, we are far more lethal. I could tell you stories that make your hair stand on end. I'd like to think of myself as one of the good ones. Now, at least. But there are much darker things in the world than I, even more than my own kin. Werewolves. Of course you'd say that. Why am I not surprised? We do see eye to eye, but they can be dangerous. They're quick like us, strong like us, but when they transform, they almost lose their sentience entirely and act on instinct. But our relationship isn't as fractured as people think. We make quite the team, actually. Maybe one day you'll meet one. I have a few friends who are werewolves. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. What you need is rest. I already woke you, and I've taken some blood, so you need to sleep or you won't have much strength tomorrow. I'll see you again. Maybe next time I won't have to sneak into your bedroom, Or, I can if you want me to. Sleep well, love.